We start with a guy who's apparently in a rage calling for a woman named Melinda. The guy sounds altered and walks slowly. He uses cowboy boots. We seem to be in some kind of store. Melinda was behind some things from the store, hiding and very upset apparently. Earlier that night, we see that same woman driving her car to a gas station and eating a hamburger. She sees an old dude smoking by the gas pump, and Melinda tries to convince him not to smoke. We learn that Melinda can be a very persistent woman who doesn't stop when she asks someone for something. She works at the store of the gas station. We see that she tries to be nice to everyone around her, even though sometimes she notices people don't like her. Her co-worker at the gas station doesn't like Melinda and takes some pictures of her. Melinda asks her to delete them, but she refuses. Sheila, the co-worker, also rejects a guy that came to the store offering her a gift. She says she goes there every day trying to get her attention and buy things for her. We notice a guy that was nearby on a truck. He had a gun and hid it as he entered the gas station. Melinda said hi to him, and told him her name and everything he wanted to know. She seemed to be constantly looking for validation from everyone around her. A policeman went to the store and said hi to Melinda. He showed his car to her, and she asked for a ride. Melinda entered the car from Officer Lou and tried to convince him to take her to the parking lot. Officer Lou didn't want to. Sometimes you have to say no and stop, but it seems Melinda doesn't know this. Inside the store, Sheila talked with the guy with the gun, who bought some condoms with cash. He then went into the bathroom. The policeman entered the store and talked to Sheila while Melinda took pictures of them. Sheila found out and Melinda drops her phone. Officer Lou asked Melinda to show her phone and Melinda was looking quite nervous. She was saved by the bell because Officer Lou heard on the radio that he needed to go. He needed to find a guy that fitted the description of the guy that had entered the store and was in the bathroom. That guy's name was Billy. Sheila took Melinda's phone and found out that Melinda was very fond of Officer Lou. Melinda had a lot of pictures of Officer Lou from the time he entered the store looking for something to eat. Sheila was super mean to Melinda for the pictures. She started crying and went outside of the store to smoke a cigarette. Melinda cried and smoked on the back. She spent a few minutes there and returned to the store. She finds out that the guy had exited the bathroom and was pointing a gun at them. The guy was robbing them to pay a debt to some bikers. He thought there would be a lot of cash in the register, but there wasn't. He started appearing doubtful and insecure because he realized he wasn't going to get all the money he needed to pay his debt. He would need the help of the workers to open the safe. However, Melinda agreed to help him and basically did everything he was asking her to. She went to open the safe for Billy, while he stayed with Sheila pointing a gun at her. Melinda was really upset with Sheila. She also kind of liked the guy and was thinking about going with him. A man and his daughter entered the store and bought some stuff, but the thief had taken the little cash it was left in the register machine. Sheila didn't have change and the guy went on to pay with his card. The guy noticed something odd and Sheila was able to pass on a note to him asking to call the cops. Billy the thief was there trying to control the situation but didn't notice anything about the note. Maybe he thought everything was going according to his plan but didn't count on Melinda's wishes. Melinda refused to give the money to Billy because he didn't want him to take her with him. He finally hurt Melinda to get the bag and Sheila stood up for her. We learn that Billy has problems controlling his rage and felt provoked by Sheila. She said a few things to her and even threatened him with her boyfriend, who she said would kick his ass. Billy responded and was again violent, this time with Sheila. Billy threw Sheila on the floor and pointed at her with his gun. He then ordered Melinda to lock the door, and Melinda also obliged. He then tied up Sheila to a room at the back of the store. Melinda obliged and didn't defend Sheila at first, but then grabbed the boiling coffee, checked if it was hot enough, and threw it to the thief. He accidentally shot and killed Sheila. Melinda also grabbed a fire extinguisher and hit him. This girl doesn't seem to know what she is doing. Melinda used a mop to clean the mess and hid Sheila's body. The thief woke up and found out that Melinda had tied him to a chair. Melinda then asked the guy why he wouldn't take her with him. She tried to convince him to take her, and the guy explained that she was already an accomplice of all the crimes that had been committed there. Billy, the thief, tried now to convince Melinda to let him go and her staying. Melinda gave Billy a cigarette and spoke to him about wounds and fire. He continued tied to the chair. There was a client in the store but Melinda didn't want to open the door. She gave Billy some water and explained to him that she wanted to figure out what to tell her boyfriend. Billy was still trying to convince her to let him go, but she had already lost it. Her expression had changed and she looked as if she was on the edge. Billy didn't notice that Melinda was giving him some pills to get him in the mood. He started realizing something on his pants and freaked out. We don't really know what is it that Melinda wants even now. Melinda puts tape on Billy's eyes and on his mouth. She then did some things to his body. Billy managed to get her off and stand up but was still tied to the chair. He then tried to push her but hit himself instead with a locker drawer. He was knocked out for a while. Melinda took his gun, grabbed her phone, and left the room with the money. She had now changed her mind and wanted to run away without killing anyone, but didn't realize that taking Billy's phone and running away was only going to make her look guilty. She also needed to erase the recordings from the camera for her plan to at least have a chance of working for her. The client from earlier was still outside knocking at the door, and Melinda let him in. The guy asked for coffee, and Melinda refused to make more after what had happened earlier. She grabbed the gun and pointed it at herself while the client was inside the store, facing away from her. In the end, she didn't pull the trigger and started crying. The guy hadn't noticed anything and just told her he wanted to pay for the drink he bought. The guy left the money and finally left her alone. Melinda looked destroyed now, not knowing what to do. Sheila's boyfriend came to pick her up, and Melinda told him that she was gone, that she had left. The boyfriend called Sheila's phone, and it was inside the store a few meters away. He questioned Melinda, but she told him that she had gone with another guy to a motel nearby. The guy said he was going to look for her and that Melinda should call him if she returned. Melinda grabbed a pail and went to bury the guys, but at that moment the biker gang arrived at the gas station. She asked for them to leave but they didn't want to because they were asking for Billy. Melinda pulled off the gun and pointed it at them, and they finally left. All that was caught on camera. Melinda then tried to open the safe where the surveillance videos were stored. She couldn't and turned off the cameras. She exited and smoked a cigarette while she saw a sign of no smoking. She had the terrible idea of grabbing some cans and filling them with gasoline. The apparent plan for her now was to burn the whole store and leave with the money. Right after that, Officer Lou came into the store. He had received the emergency call that Sheila. Officer Lou said he had found a stolen vehicle he was looking for, and that he wanted to see the tapes. The manager of the gas station said she wouldn't go there to open the safe, and Melinda felt that she got away with everything for a moment. Officer Lou searched everything in the store but somehow didn't find anything. Melinda had a stroke of luck. The policeman told her to call him if anything happened, and left the store. Melinda entered the room where she thought Sheila and Billy were and found out that Billy had escaped. Her mindset once again changed and she had another idea in her head. She then grabbed the can full of gas and spoiled it all over the store. She also put it on top of Sheila's body. Melinda was about to burn everything and leave but found out Billy had locked the place and had killed the lights. She couldn't use the gun because it had gasoline on it. Melinda threatened Billy with her lighter, and at that moment Sheila's boyfriend got to the store. Billy exited through the back door and locked Melinda in. He said Sheila's boyfriend that Melinda had killed Sheila, and right when he believed the story he grabbed his neck and choked him. The guy defended himself but Billy finally made him choke with an air machine. Melinda took her phone out and called Officer Lou, saying she lied. Billy used an SUV to break the glass of the entrance. He entered the store and Melissa said that she was sorry. That she wanted him to take the money and leave. Billy said she had made him a killer, and that tried to take advantage of him. He grabbed the gun and tried to shoot at Melinda but ended up burning the whole place. Melinda exited and sat by the SUV when the police officer arrived. He took her into the patrol car and called for help. He asked Melinda for her forgiveness for not having been there.